General disclaimer. Welcome to this official presentation on Affiliate Marketing Model 3.0. All presenters are providing their services on a volunteer basis and are active participants in all products they are presenting. Their views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of the organisation. While we aim for accuracy, errors may occur. All content is for informational purposes only. The information provided is general and not personalised advice. We are not liable for any losses. We provide information and systems, but we do not endorse any purchases of memberships. Your decisions are yours alone, so we advise conducting thorough research. If uncertain, seek guidance from a qualified professional. Attendees accept these terms by continuing to view this presentation. Let's explore affiliate marketing cautiously and curiously. Legal disclaimer. You are viewing an Affiliate Marketing 3.0 official presentation. All products and services, their component parts and operating methods and systems, either provided by or created by Affiliate Marketing 3.0, belong solely to Affiliate Marketing 3.0. All IPs are protected. Anyone copying, distributing, or reselling any Affiliate Marketing 3.0 product without express permission risks serious legal consequences. Any unauthorized broadcasting, live streaming, or social media sharing of Affiliate Marketing 3.0 presentations is strictly prohibited. Downloading and re-uploading presentations without permission violates copyright law and may also lead to legal consequences. Okay, wonderful. Lovely. Good evening. Welcome. It is Friday evening. It is education and Q&A night with myself and Carl. So welcome to Friday night's Zoom session. There is plenty of room and we are going to cover a fair amount of information this evening with the changes that have happened in the last few days. So we'll be covering a fair amount of information. So please reach out to your teams, to your communities, bring them along so that we can make sure we disseminate this information to as many people as possible. And this will obviously reduce questions to you from your community when they are unclear on what's happening and then they're messaging you to get answers, and they could have got them right here. And then everybody's on the same page right from the very start. So please reach out to your people. Let's get a few more people along here as well. Do make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm going to be letting you know all about tomorrow, Sunday's event, where we will be covering this information again, because we'll have hopefully many more people joining us on our Sunday session. If you don't know what the Sunday session is, stick around to the end and I'll be telling you everything that you need to know about it. So welcome everybody. And what I'm going to be covering, we're going to cover two things this evening. I'll go to Carl to say hello before we explain any further. So Carl.
Thanks, Joe. Okay, well, traditionally I would be doing a recap of the updates, and there is a bit of update. The first update is that there appears to be a problem with the login page at the moment. I was just pondering, Joe, if only Lucky was here, or somebody that could communicate with Lucky, or somebody that was in Dubai that could ring up somebody in the office maybe, and I'm sure that person that is here might do something, but at the moment we are somewhat hamstrung as best laid plans usual. We're going to go through the new transfer function, and just as we started, everybody started losing access to the login page. There's an SSL, that's the security system, and it may be that the security certificate for our page has expired or something. So if anybody was here that could get a message to support, or to Lucky to get to support, that might be appreciated if we can get that back quickly. I don't know if we can. Other updates is the recent RPC error that has been corrected earlier this week. So you'll be able to access our blockchain, do transactions, stake your BTCC, etc. to that. And obviously what we're going to talk about, which is the new transfer function. At this stage, I'll have a look when I hand back to Joe and see if there's any money being put into the withdrawal wallet, but all pending withdrawals were backed out, level playing field, and you'll be able to transfer. I've done some in preparation for today, but I didn't take screenshots, unfortunately. I did raise a question in the leaders group about a particular part of that process that doesn't appear to have been catered for. So we'll wait on an answer for that. And we're waiting on a notification that all of the backouts have been completed and everything's clean and ready to restart with withdrawals.
Keep talking for a minute.
Okay. Well, the weather's fine here, everyone. It's about just after 8 o'clock in the morning. What else?
Perfect. Okay. So, okay, you can stop talking now. Your wish, Carl, your wish has been granted. It would seem that we can log in now.
Oh, Ripper.
Sue just messaged me and she could log in on her laptop, and I've tested it and I can log in. So you can probably log in as well. So in which case you, if you want to continue and you can show, or I can share screen and can do the first bit. It's up to you.
All right, I will log in now. I'd like to say, everyone, cancel most of what I just said.
So while you're doing that, let me just explain. Okay, so what Carl is going to do in a moment, hopefully if he can log in, all right? As he said,
I mean,
perfect. Prior to launching the Zoom, we tried to log in and there was an SSL certificate failure, so we couldn't log in. I was going to do it with screenshots, but it would seem that's been resolved. So first part is Carl is going to be showing the new transfer function, where you can find it, explain how you can use it, and then after that he'll be explaining about the new reserve fund. So as I said, bring your people along, make sure everybody's got the right information. Right, back to you, Carl.
thanks, mate. All right. Here we go. All right. First thing is where to find it. It's under your portfolio. All right. Now you'll have this new button, transfer, in 3 separate places. So at this stage, you can transfer from your holding wallet to the transfer wallet, and from the income wallet to the transfer wallet, and consequently transfer to transfer. Now, I did several goes at it yesterday, so I managed to do a holding to my transfer. I'll do one live here. Holding to someone else's transfer wallet, and the income to someone else's transfer wallet. I have raised the question about transferring from the holding to the transfer wallet if that fund happens to be from a loan. Every transfer will have a 5% fee into a transfer. Every withdrawal has a 20% gift. It's not a fee. All withdrawals are fee-free. There is a deposit. 20% is put into this new reserve, which we'll talk about later. But the internal transfers will still incur a fee of 5%. Now, there's a message in the leaders group from Chavez that indicates that for now, even that fee will be waived into that new reserve coming. Okay. So at the moment, Chavez is not going to be owning anything. He needs to build that, what I call a stability treasury. We're going to have our trading treasury, a stability treasury, and in the future there might be other treasuries. We don't know. But it needs to get started. So once the withdrawals return, that will happen, and he's going to use his transfer fee from this button to boost it faster. Okay, so let's say, for an example, I want to move this $1.98 to my transfer wallet here. Click transfer button, and hopefully it doesn't crash again. All right. Now, what I've suggested is that this box here has a drop down. All right. And if it selects the destination to be the transfer wallet from holding, I won't go into details. There's the issues of determining whether that money came from a loan. I also suggested some other options where the loan can be told where to go. Instead of going into the holding, you can send it straight to the transfer, and then you amalgamate on the transfer. That's probably my preferred option. But anyway, it defaults to your account. So it's assuming you're going to do it internal to yourself. Pick the amount. Let's say I want to do the whole lot. Actually, I want to do this. I'm actually going to do this to that account, because that is actually where I want it to go. All right, so it's going to have 5% fee, remaining balance. I like to always use at least a very short remark, because if you come back later and you can't remember why you did it or where you sent it, because you've only got an address or something, it's always good to have a trigger to remember things. That's probably not the right one. I normally use a shortcut for this, so that's correct. No. Anyway, that would then trigger the OTP option. From here on, it's the same as everyone else's experience. So that would then transfer $1.88 from my holding wallet to this person's transfer wallet. So you can go your own wallet, you can go to somebody else's wallet, you can go as indicated on the screen. So you can go from your holding wallet, your income wallet, to your own transfer wallet, somebody else's transfer wallet. Once it's in the transfer wallet, you can transfer to transfer. So you can amalgamate a few amounts into your own wallet, and you can then send it out as a lump sum. Note that there is no fee on this step. If you're transferring from your transfer, to get it there, you've already paid the 5% fee. So that it's unfair to charge it twice. Now, the important thing to note, once you've done all of that, What do you do with it? Okay. You can go to your subscription. You want to purchase something, and lo and behold, your transfer wallet now is an option for paying for your as purchase. Another suggestion I made in the same question was to convert these into checkboxes, and you can pick any or all of these, and that's where the money would come from. Again, that's a nice, elegant solution to. You could then click your income wallet and your transfer wallet, and it'll combine and do your purchase. That's just a suggestion. I'm not going to say that that will happen or not. So all your products now, when you select the transfer wallet, is now an option for purchases. Complete the process, transaction password, terms and conditions, and it'll come out. So that's where you're going to be able to use your transferred funds, how you transferred your funds, and where the transfer buttons are currently. But I'm waiting on that issue of the holding wallet, where that deposit was a loan from an upline in the loan options. Any questions?
While you're preparing for the next bit, Carl, now's the time to start formulating questions. Obviously, this is a Q&A session as well. So Carl's going to just go on to the next bit in a moment. So in the meantime, while Carl goes through that, start thinking about what your questions are. Put your hands up, and as soon as Carl's finished, then I will start taking questions. We'll probably be done within the next half an hour, but if nobody's got questions, we'll finish sooner. But if you do have questions, please try not to leave it until the very last second. Ask, put your hand up, and we will get you and we'll answer everybody's questions. All right, back to you, Carl.
We're going to actually do this one together,
Okay.
because you've orientated, I think is the correct word.
Orated.
Orated, yeah, that's better. Orated the PDF twice already. All right, let's have a look at this new reserve. Okay, why are we doing this? A lot of people are asking that question. A lot of people are asking the question, do we get access to it again? And a lot of the answers we don't really know yet. But why are we doing it is pretty obvious. And the example I use to explain to people is partly the explanation of why withdrawals were stopped. A whole bunch of value. We have this trading treasury already. That's what the fund managers use to throw at alpha AI signals and make the yield income, which I noticed yesterday, last evening, was up to just over $1.9 million now. Okay, and we're about to hit the 6-month mark, so there's a new P&L step or display coming very, very soon. Right, so it's going okay, but with the value of that treasury dropping 30%, because it's held in Ethereum and other tokens, but the whole crypto market took a nosedive. It means that they are less effective. They can put as much Ethereum as they wanted towards that trade, but that Ethereum isn't worth as much, so it doesn't generate as much value, especially if they have to swap that Ethereum to, say, Solana, to throw it on the Solana network. Okay, so this new stability treasury is going to be sitting there and called into action when needed. They would transfer that, say the market dropped 30%. In our case, that was, say, $1 million, or let's be a bit more realistic in current terms. Let's say it dropped $100,000 in value. they could transfer 100,000 from this stability into there. Now, if that was 400,000, there'd still be 300,000 just in case. Bring the value of the trading treasury back up, continue as normal, continue making just as much money. Market recovers, the value of this goes up, they can bring that 100,000 back and put it back into the stability and use it for something else down the track. All right, so that's why they've got to do this. Now, why Ethereum? Well, a number of reasons. One, if it's just sitting there as a stability treasury, it's not doing anything. So the value of Ethereum is going up. It's increasing in value under its own steam. But also, at a certain point, when they get to 32 Ethereum in value, what they have the option of is then getting an Ethereum validator, which is going to generate more Ethereum. It starts the compounding. And you'll see the term compounding value throughout this document and the discussions. So that's why we're using Ethereum. Feel free to chime in anytime, mate.
So
yeah, go.
The question that people have asked, one of the questions that Carl just mentioned was about what will happen with that reserve fund in the longer term. Will we get that back since that's coming out of our withdrawals? And as Carl said, we don't know. We don't have an answer for that yet. At some point, it will be addressed with Chavez, either on a Wednesday update or on a leadership Zoom. But it seems to me that the way this company has always worked and the way that Chavez has always worked, everything they've done has always been with the long-term intention of it benefiting the community in one way or another. So there is no definitive answer, but it would surprise me if something in the future isn't put in place when this reserve, let's say in a year from now, when this reserve is at a substantial value and has the capacity to be able to keep this platform stable on a long-term basis. It wouldn't surprise me if something was put in place that the community would benefit from. Obviously, I'm not in a position to say yes, that is the case, no, that's definitely going to happen or whatever. But it would be a surprise to me if something doesn't happen in the future. But right now, this is a necessary step to protect the longevity of 3FO, and of course that's what everybody wants. As we said last week, somebody asked a question about withdrawals, and my response is, well, do you want to be able to withdraw next month and the month after and next year? Of course, we all want this to be working for the next 10, 15, 20 years. In order for that to happen, we need to take steps now, while it's still young, while it's still a baby, to protect its future. And that, of course, means protecting us as well. Okay, back to you, Carl.
Just extending that a little bit. As I said, we don't know, but maybe, just maybe, there's a clue in the 3-year roadmap. All of the benefits and events, everything else that is hinted at under the DAO could come into play through this stability treasury as well. Okay, now, this is not unprecedented in a sense. Like, we've got this page, institutional parallels. It's very common for stock market listed companies to withhold profits. All right. Now, they do it before declaring the dividends. Unfortunately, in our case, because we're decentralized and crypto, we don't know what you're going to do with it. So there is a way, remember, for you to get 100% value. And that is if you earn it in your income wallet and then go directly to a purchase, you're going to get the 100% value. Okay. There is no fee on that. So repurchases, you get the full value. Internal transfers is the 5%, and external transfers, the 20% donation, if you like. But Chavez doesn't know what you're going to do with it. So he can't do it until the withdrawal stage or repurchase stage. So this is the only way that I can think of. Now, somebody else can think of some other idea. And if you do, come to me and Joe and any other leader and we'll pass it on. We often pass ideas on. Just remember that a lot of ideas have been picked up from the community over the last couple of years. So it is common for companies to build strategic stability, whatever they want, reserves. I'm just calling it a stability because that's what triggered it, the stability of the platform. All right. Any other areas you want to look at in here, Joe?
I can add on to, perhaps we'll flick through the slides, but let me just add on to that as well. Also remember that with the 3FO system, the way the 3FO system works is on the ignition packs, you can buy as many ignition packs as you like. So as Carl just said, you can get 100% value from your yield by reinvesting, because you're not withdrawing, so you're not deducting 20%. So of course, if you're reinvesting in a ignition pack, you're getting 100% value plus you're forexing. So that's all profit. That's your compounding, isn't it? So every time you're investing in an ignition pack, you're compounding those profits. You're earning 4x. That's more than covering any profits, any of the 20%, because you're forexing. Remember, it's $1 in every $5 that's contributing to the reserve. So if you've invested $500 of profits and you're getting $2,000 4x, you're getting $2,000 back. Then 20% of that, it's all out of profits. You're covering it. So in the longer run, the company is benefiting, but you're not really, I don't want to use the word losing, but I don't really know a different way of describing it. Because you're compounding your profits, it's a really negligible cost. I've got 11 or 12 ignition packs running, and I would say 10 of them have been through reinvestment of profits. So the right mindset to consider these 20% are it's going to secure the future of 3FO. It's going to make sure that there is a reserve fund there to enable 3FO to continue to grow and operate through periods of volatility. Secondly, this will also be to enable withdrawals to be able to run smoothly in the future because of these additional funds that the company will be able to draw on. And of course, in the longer term, because we are running the system in a professional way, just like traditional finance companies that have a reserve, we are operating in a professional way. And that, of course, gives us not only longevity, but it gives us huge credibility when people come, when you bring new people in and they say, well, how do we know it's not going to collapse? Easy. Every withdrawal has a 20% fee deducted, or a 20% deduction that goes to a reserve that will secure the future of this company, that is online, that you'll be able to see. This is the reserve, and you can show it to them. There's $2 million in the reserve today. There's $5 million in the reserve today. And this is what's protecting and securing the future of the company. So, this is, in my opinion, an early step towards becoming a licensed, regulated, and long-term sustainable product. Let's just scroll through a couple of more pages. Go to the next page. Let's quickly scroll through.
This is what they will be doing. They are going to be looking at validators. They're going to do diversification of the validators and nodes around the globe, and they will obviously be doing some staking of the Ethereum.
I think the transparency framework is a good one to look at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
you can see, so it's all going to be on-chain visibility. So everything is transparent, real-time reserve dashboard, which actually you can see on your dashboard as well now, that the reserve, I think I saw that a little earlier when I went.
you can see what you've contributed to the reserve.
Yeah, that's right. You can see what you've contributed. That's it. I thought I'd seen that.
Yeah, but watch this. I know I haven't bookmarked it. Damn.
Oh, such a build up there, Carl.
I have got the address saved. I'll grab it later. At this stage, there was only one deposit because the withdrawals. There was a question in the chat. Have withdrawals are still on hold? Yes, as far as I know, they're still on hold. So the 20% and the waived 5% haven't been flowing in yet, but they some money has been there just to seed it, if you like.
Yeah. But yeah, so the goal here is everything's going to be transparent, so you'll be able to see in the reserve, see how much funding is there. You want to go through to the next page? Strategic advantages of protocol level. No, go to the next one. Mitigation. So yeah, risk mitigation. I think that's a good one. So obviously to mitigate risk, make sure there's always something in place to protect the company and the product and the community. Validator diversification, growing of validator holdings. If you've got one Ethereum validator, I imagine that's tremendously valuable. But if we've got 20, 30, 40 Ethereum validators, I suspect that makes us an extremely influential company. Multi-signatory treasury controls, cold and hot custody separation. I'm not sure I understand exactly what that means. Perhaps Carl can give us a bit more on that. Insurance layer integrations where needed, and governance oversight frameworks. Perhaps you can give us a bit more detail on those last few, if it's something that you're familiar with.
The hot and cold custody is a difference between hot and cold wallets, I believe.
Yeah, of course. But what's the separation? I mean, X amount of funds in cold wallet, X amount of funds in hot wallet.
I think it's in the security. It's not on a centralized platform exposed to
gotcha. Yeah,
collapse of some sort.
Sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
I suspect. Remember, everyone, all the information we've got essentially is in 2, 3, 4 word sentences. All right. So a lot of this is interpretation until we get to a session with Chavez to give more detail and enlightenment. Okay.
Yeah.
Governance oversight frameworks. That could mean anything. It could be that before Chavez does anything, he's got to talk to Lucky. I don't know.
Maybe that refers to auditing.
Yeah, could be auditing.
Yeah, could be auditing. Quickly scroll through, and I think that'll probably cover everything. I can't think there's much else. No. Long-term vision. I think we're all familiar with the idea of what we're planning to do. We're all sick of jumping from one crap platform to another that is not able to fulfill promises. We're doing our best to fulfill promises, keep those promises, and be here for the long term. So, I'm sure that's everybody gets that. Let's go through. I think that's pretty much everything. Isn't it?
That's the last page. That's the address there. I will share again in a moment once I grab that address out of where I stored it.
Okay. All right. Well, now's the time for Q&A, folks. So put your hands up. We've already got one hand up, and I've got a question in the Q&A box as well. But Sue's got her hand up, so let's go to Sue.
Hey, I have a question for you. When will we able to? So I did the ignition pack. Actually, I've done 3. I've gotten my 2,000 back twice, so 4,000 back. But my BTCC has not been released for the staking for those 2 packages. When do we get that back so that I can restake another 500 ignition pack?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I hadn't thought about that because I just keep reinvesting. I haven't done any withdrawals. I've just reinvested those funds, stay staked. You've still got, even though your panel, your ignition pack completes, you've still got the same quantity of BTCC staked. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not really sure because you're adding more BTCC when you stake again, when you buy
Correct.
another ignition pack. When you
Correct.
buy
And I
another
should be
ignition
getting it
pack, you
back.
stake again and your BTC is still in the system. Yeah, good
Correct.
question.
I think I was looking at the screen that there's still only that one transaction, so there's no point bringing that wallet up at the moment. Sue, just recap. What did you say? That you've earned your initial back. Is that what you're saying? Or you've
Yes.
earned everything back?
On 3 packs, I got 3 500 ignition packs. I've gotten 4,000 instead of, it comes out to where I would get 6,000 back on each 500. I would get 2,000 on each 500. I've already gotten back 4,000. So I should have already gotten back 20 BTCC or 19 BTCC because I only have 1 pack that's left to get the funds back from.
Right. You haven't hit your earning potential yet, though.
I have on 2 packs, yes.
But overall,
No, I still have 1 more pack to go.
yeah. It's a design circumstance. I won't say feature or oversight or whatever. For me, I see the way it's working is it works on the total of your potential earning. All right. Until that pays out, I would believe that none of the BTCC will be returned. Whether that was deliberate or an oversight, I cannot say, but that's how I'm seeing it operating because.
Okay, but then that becomes a problem because if I go down to 0 on my total credited or remaining capping, then I have to hurry up and scramble to get another 500 in. That would create chaos, I think.
Yeah,
We all go to 0.
It's something that could be brought up on Sunday for investigation. At what point does the staked BTCC return? That's a good opportunity, I think, for that to come up.
Yeah, good question.
Because I've had packs pay out too, but I just look at the whole structure and say, well, that's still going. I don't need to worry. And if you panic and you or prepare, you stake another pack, then you'll never hit your potential income. But it does mean tying up more and more BTCC.
Correct.
Yeah, good question. It's something we can raise with Chavez when it comes, because I'd kind of looked at it in the same way. I hadn't really thought about it because I've reinvested all my profits and I've added the extra BTCC and I've looked at how much I've got as the overall potential income. I hadn't really considered the option of withdrawing the BTCC. For me, at some point in the future, there will be a BTCC withdrawal button where you'll be able to withdraw your BTCC if you want to.
Okay. Joe, but it's not about withdrawing it. I don't care about withdrawing it.
Yeah.
But if I want to buy another 500 pack, I don't want to have to go and get more BTCC when I already have it already staked.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
maybe not to withdraw, but to put it back in.
Yeah, for it to sort of bounce back to a wallet that you can then reuse it.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good question. That's something we'll have to speak to and raise with Chavez on the next leadership meeting. Great. This is why these Q&As are important. You know, sometimes we don't think of things in the same way. People have different perspectives or interpret things differently, and gives us an opportunity to hear that from you, so that we can then take that to Lucky and to Chavez, wherever. So we'll speak. Lucky's traveling at the moment, as is Chavez. So when we get an opportunity, we will raise that. Any other questions? Now's the time to ask, folks. There's 15 minutes left. So now's the time to put your hand up, ask any questions that you have. And if you don't have any, then of course we can finish early. Choice is yours. I don't think there's any additional information that I can really add to what we've discussed this evening. Perhaps let's give everybody a couple of more minutes to think, and I'll perhaps add a little something just to sort of along the lines of what I did on I can't remember when it was now. Was it Wednesday? Am I in the Zoom? Let me bring
Knowing what you're going to do, how can we answer that question?
Right,
what did you do? Well, that'll answer your own question.
Yeah. Just thinking out loud. Right, give me a second. I'm going to come in with my tablet. 502.
For those that are keeping tabs on my periodical visitor, the local bandicoot, which is a member of the kangaroo family, because most people don't tend to come to US prime time. I haven't seen him for about a week, which probably means he's on an extended date. Generally what drags him away. They've got a very strong nose. They're a bit bigger than twice the size of a rat, but a long pointy nose, and pretty much parallel evolution. So when there's a lady bandicoot and the wind's blowing in the right direction, he seems to disappear.
Okay, I'm ready.
As long as he keeps coming back, though.
Yeah, it's become a bit of a darling of the US prime time. It's almost as if he knows when the Zoom's going to start. Anyway, okay, so this is what I've done the other day. I simplified the reason why we're looking at a reserve, really, in a very simple way, so that everybody can understand it. And it's not that I think anybody's stupid. Just drawing from my own experience, I'm a visual learner and I like to see things. It helps me understand it. And perhaps there's people in here that are the same and they like to be able to see things. It helps them understand things better. But this is why the withdrawals are flowing at a limited pace at the moment. So this is you. You buy an ignition pack. You buy an ignition pack. So you send in your Ethereum, and this Ethereum goes into a pool. Okay. Now the asset managers are using these funds for trading. Now in this pool of Ethereum, 50% is used to pay the affiliate income, and 50% is used by the asset managers, AUM. Okay, that's what they use to trade with. All right, so 50% of this pool is what you're withdrawing from. These are the funds that you're withdrawing. Every time you earn a commission, you're withdrawing. Every time you're earning a yield, every Wednesday when you get paid, you are withdrawing from this pool. And the asset managers are using the 50% to trade with and generate more and more profits. Now, I don't know if all of these funds are kept in one pool or separated out to two separate pools, but for the simplicity of what I'm explaining, this is how it's working. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, okay, right. Let's say in this pool, you've got there's an Ethereum. No, let's do it the other way. Right, let's say you've got here. Okay. That's that. That's that. That's that. Okay. So let's say in this pool, you've got, add another one in just for fun. Okay, you've got 5 Ethereum, and let's say it's $1,000 each. Okay, so you've got 5 Ethereum, that's $1,000 each, and you've got 5 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, who want to withdraw $1,000 each. No problem. So this person can withdraw 1,000. 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 Everybody's happy. Okay, everybody's happy. They come back next week. They withdraw another 1,000. No problem. Everybody's happy. Now, the market has gone down. Okay. So let's say now each of these Ethereum is now worth $500. The quantity of Ethereum hasn't changed in this example. Okay. The quantity of Ethereum is the same. You've got 5 Ethereum. You've got 5 Ethereum, but now it has got 50% of the value. The market has dropped by 50%. So now instead of $4,000 of Ethereum, you've now got the same quantity of Ethereum, but it's only worth $2,000. So this person comes along and wants to withdraw $1,000. So now you have to give that person 2 Ethereum. He's happy. This person's now happy. Okay, that's that Ethereum gone. That's this person gone home. Now this person wants to withdraw $1,000 of Ethereum. So there we go. We give them 2 Ethereum. Now they're happy. Now that Ethereum's gone. This person goes away until next week. Now this person comes along and wants to withdraw $1,000 of Ethereum. Well, that's not possible because there's only 1 Ethereum left and it only has a value of $500. So, okay, maybe we say to this person, look, instead of taking $1,000, take $250. No problem. So this person now takes $250. Okay, that means now here there is $250 left. This person goes away, they're happy. This person comes along and now wants to take $1,000. Well, you're going to have to take $250, or you're going to have to take $125. And this is why the withdrawals are being restricted and let flow slowly. Because, of course, in reality, we are still topping this up. The asset managers are still trading and topping this up. But the value of Ethereum is still low, which means you're going to need several times more Ethereum to take it back to the value, the overall pool value to what it was prior to the crash. Okay, so that's why there is a restriction and withdrawals are going out slowly, because the asset managers must have assets. They must have Ethereum in this pool, because if we let all this Ethereum go, then how are the asset managers going to generate funds? Now, why is this important? Well, because think of all of the other companies that we've been involved in the last 5 years, maybe some of you longer. They did not have this system in place. They did not have a pool system in place. They didn't have asset managers. All they had was people that were sending in funds by buying packages, more people coming in, making an investment, sending in their funds, and 100% of those funds were then being paid out, coming back. But of course, with interest, compounding interest. You put in $500, you're expecting to compound and take out $5,000 in the next 3 months. Well, where do those funds come from? Those funds come from the new people joining, new people coming in. But eventually, the amount of people coming in is too small to cover the amount of money being withdrawn. And then what happens? 8 months down the line, 9 months down the line, it's all gone. Vanished. Your money, your profits, your business, your friends, your hope, your vision, your idea of what you were going to be doing and giving up work next month, next year, all gone. That is not how you run a professional, legitimate business. Sadly, for most of us, we never thought that far ahead. All we saw were the promises. All we saw was the greed of how much money we could make and how fast we could make it. That includes me. I'm not innocent. We all fell for it at one point or another. So I don't know about you, but I am sick of going from bullshit to bullshit. People making promises that they cannot possibly fulfill. I learned. It was a sharp learning curve, but I learned. So now we are in something where everything is being managed professionally, where everything is planned for, to be able to fulfill those promises on a long-term basis. Oh, that's why, upside down. To be able to fulfill everything for the long-term basis. So the short-term pain of waiting, enabling the company to rebuild their assets, us contributing to the reserve, to protect the future of this company, to protect your future income, is a professional necessity. So I think that's hopefully now everybody understands why we're in that situation and why this is what we're doing is a good thing. If Carl, you want to add on to that, fine. If not, we've got 5 minutes left, folks. Nobody's put their hands up. I'll just read the question that's in the chat. Carl, you can answer this if you want to. From Alexander, sorry, but I can't find the recordings of last Q&A session on YouTube AFM channel. Why these sessions are not recorded and presented for us, please. Verify this issue. I don't know what you mean by presented. I mean, they are recorded and they do go onto YouTube.
Yeah, I've just dropped the link in the chat for anybody that wants it. I just dropped it in the everyone chat. Alexander, I had a look. Last week's wasn't there. The one before was. There are a number. They're generally stored under the masterclass heading. We don't trigger the recordings ourselves. Somebody else does that. I believe that person is in and probably doing the recording ready for upload. It's not live streamed, but it is recorded. So today's hopefully will appear shortly. But we don't control that because we're using the corporate account. We don't manage the corporate account. So if the person responsible is sick, away, whatever reason, and doesn't make it, then it doesn't get uploaded. But as a rule, they are uploaded and they're under the masterclass section.
Yeah, I didn't realise last week's wasn't up. I suppose it's possible that it got forgotten. Okay. All right. Well, it's been an hour, just a couple of minutes under. So I'm going to take a last call for questions, and if not, then we can conclude. So any questions or comments that you'd like to make, now's the time to do it.
Joe, was he asking about Q&A on Sunday? Because that's not.
No,
Yeah,
I clarified it's this session he was asking about.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. And for those of you who are thinking, Q&A on Sunday, what is that all about? Well, stick around and I'm going to tell you
Please
all about
do
it.
tell us, Joe.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap up then. Okay. So you're all familiar with the schedule. Obviously, it's Friday, so we're up to the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday, it's up to you. You do whatever it is you wish to do. Of course, our recommendation is always to at least spend some time building your business. We've been here long enough now. You've seen the vision. You've seen the 3-year roadmap. Hopefully, everybody understands the direction that this company is taking. The faster you grow your business, the earlier you'll be able to complete a panel and move through to the next panel and build your Ethereum wealth. Outside of that, the choice is yours. Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays are presentation days. Wednesdays are community call with Chavez. Everything on Monday to Thursday is at 7 p.m. UK time and 7 p.m. EST time for the US prime time Zoom. Chavez obviously hasn't been with us the last few weeks because he's been finalising everything for DO banking, and DO banking has begun testing. They've opened up several accounts in different countries around the world where they are now testing the to and froing of fiat currency. We've not had an update on how well that's going, nor have we had an update on how if it's not going. So we can only assume that it is going well, and it won't be too much longer before we see Liquid Pay going live. I mean, I should say you should probably wait at least until the end of March, because I imagine there's still a lot of work going on, but at least we're making good, clear headway. All right, so what have I been talking about? Oh, sorry, and every Friday, of course, you have the pleasure of Carl and I rambling for an hour and providing some kind of training and answering any questions. So, Sundays, brand new global leaders community meeting. This is not a corporate Zoom. This is a team community Zoom, an opportunity for you to come and have your say. There'll be, of course, Carl and I there, and then an array of different leaders depending on who's available. I think this weekend we will have Chantel, possibly Eunice, and Crypto Tech as well. But Lucky may not be with us because she's in India at the moment, traveling, visiting her family and visiting leaders in India with Rajiv and Trashit. So they may or may not be in, depending if they're in an area that they can get a signal. So it might just be Carl, myself, Chantel, and Eunice. And if you're really lucky, it might just be Carl and I. But this is an opportunity for you to come and have your say, to have a voice. We are one community, but we are many voices. And we want to hear your opinions. We want to hear your questions. We want to hear your suggestions. This is an opportunity for you to come and speak freely. There is no subject that is taboo. You can discuss anything that you want. The last 3 weeks have been excellent. Over 130 people, between 2.5 and 3.5 hours long, with some excellent conversation, excellent questions, excellent debate. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So it would be great to have as many of you there as possible. We will go over some of this information that we've discussed today again, because obviously there will be many people that are not here that will want this information as well. So we will go over this information. But starting from this week, we are also doing crypto education. Chavez has recorded, I think, about 28 weeks of education videos around crypto in general and leading to the specifics of Bitcoin code. For those of you who've been with us from the beginning, if you can remember Chavez and his daily whiteboard, going through the development of the BTCC blockchain, the various stages of the development and the NFT miners, those were great days. And that's what these education sessions are about. So we will be playing those recordings every Sunday in sequence. They're only about 30 minutes long. So we will be bringing that education to you every single Sunday, along with live Q&A and, of course, your voice. So come and see us every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, 12:30 a.m. India time, 11 p.m. UAE time, 2 p.m. EST time, 11 a.m. PST. Come and have your voice. Okay. Of course, and if you are brand new here and you've just invested in an ignition pack, come and see Carl and I on a US prime time. That's Monday to Friday. Come and see us on US prime time. Say hello. You could qualify for a free $50 miner with a little bit of BTCC also to stake that miner and begin your Bitcoin code mining journey. There you go. That brings us to the end. Carl, is there any closing comments that you'd like to add?
Yeah, we come on Sunday, definitely. We might even throw in anecdotes. We might throw in insights on top of what Chavez is doing on his little sessions as well.
Marvelous.
That's all.
Fantastic. So thanks very much. Well, thanks very much to him. Thanks very much from me. And of course, Sue and Izzy for keeping us on track. And thanks very much to all of you for joining us and showing your support. It will always be very much appreciated. And we hope that we will see as many of you as possible on Sunday. We are taking an exciting journey. We're doing it one day at a time, but we are also doing it together. See you on Sunday, folks. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Bye-bye.